Alright, what is up, guys? Losing Manic here. It's been a while, I know. Today, mostly because I had nothing to talk about. Today, I figured I'd talk to you guys about something that recently came up that I kind of felt the need to talk about. As you can tell by the title, this is probably my more controversial hot take in the Fallout franchise. Now, I know that, like, thus far, if you've been following my channel, then you guys would know that thus far. But I consider my most, like, controversial hot take being that the Railroad is by far my favorite faction in Fallout 4. But this one, from what I've seen based off, like, Reddit posts, forums, and just seeing online, this one is by far... Hold on. Sorry, I got a message on my phone. This one is by far the most controversial one ever. That it makes my thoughts on the Railroad being the better faction just seem like a huge issue for some of you guys, and it's within New Vegas, and it is that of all the traits in Fallout New Vegas, Wild Wasteland is the worst trait you could ever fucking have. It is the worst goddamn trait ever. Why the fuck would you pick this? For starters, keep in mind there are way better traits you can have. Such as Trigger Discipline, which it has increased accuracy at the cost of slower slower fire rate. It's been a while since I played New Vegas, so if I don't know any, then whatever. Fast hands. Is that a trait? Yeah, fast hands, which is where you can throw faster at the cost of decreased speed or decreased distance and whatnot. So you have all of these, or like Build to Destroy, where you do like increased damage at the cost of. Wait, no, Build to Destroy. I'm thinking of something else. Build to Destroy, which is like increased crit chance at the cost of like a 15% gun durability decrease. So you have all these traits that affect your gameplay, affect combat, the one of the more important stuff aside from story. Why are you gonna disregard those for Wild Wasteland? Another thing that I don't like about it is the fact that so for some of you guys who don't know, Wild Wasteland changes it to where like there's like hidden Easter eggs and whatnot. There's like all these like jokes in the game. However, you won't if you don't like know a lot of pop culture and whatnot, like for example, there's if you go to Camp Searchlight in one of the churches, if you don't have Wild Wasteland there, you get 2 mini nukes. However, if you have the Wild Wasteland, instead of the mini nukes, you get 3 holy frat hand grenades, which is a reference to, I guess, a Monty Python movie. I've never seen the movie, which is why I would never use it. Instead of getting the YCS 186 up in the mercenary camp with the Wild Wasteland perk, you get an alien blaster, which has a 100% crit chance, which means every single target you shoot will have is a guaranteed crit hit. But the issue with that is it only uses alien blaster rounds, and the only place you can get it is within that alien camp, which means once you use up all the alien blaster rounds, that's it. The gun is fucking useless. So there's that. And you have all, and then so you're telling me that you'd rather use that instead of just a gun that you can use whenever, and like the references to the stuff you won't be able to get if you don't know what they're referencing. Like for example, whenever after you leave Goodsprings, you will come across a skeleton in a fridge. That is a reference to Indiana Jones. I don't know which one because I don't watch Indiana Jones. But in turn, you get the dapper, or you get like the suave gambler hat, or whatever. Which is nice, but like it's supposed to like symbolize a reference, but without it, it just doesn't show up there. Without Wild Wasteland, it just shows up there, and if you're wondering why it's there, it's clearly a reference to a movie that you may or may not have seen. So the point of Wild Wasteland is to kind of like make your game a bit more interesting and a bit more fun, kind of add laughs in there. But it's only useful if you get what they're referencing. To me personally, it is the worst trait you could have. And this is coming from the fact that Logan, in my opinion, skilled is one of the or one of the traits I really do not like. And Logan's loophole is another pretty dull one. For some of you guys who don't know, skilled is where you get, I think, 5 extra points into each of your tags or to the tag list. With skill trees, I guess, at the cost of a 10% XP decrease. So you gain 10% less experience per quest, which can easily be negated. However, I don't like skilled, and Logan's loophole makes it to where you are never, ever, ever addicted to chems at the cost of once you hit level 30, that's it. That is it. Nothing else. You can't go to level 31. You sure as hell can't reach 50. So you have those worst ones, and yet I'd rather pick those over Wild Wasteland because they add nothing. They just make the game a bit more interesting and weird. And I don't really see the logical use behind it. There's no combat advantages whatsoever. If I play a game, it's not only for story but for combat. If it like made it to where like you can have like a completely different ending, then that's fine. But you just it's different gameplay, like the tiniest a bit of differences to gameplays, and that's it. No different ending, no special reward. It's just the weapon that you barely use. By the way, the holy hand grenade, you get 3 of those. So once you use up all 3 of those, sorry buddy, that's it. You're done for. You don't get them back. You can't buy them. You can sell them, but they don't restock, which means once they're gone, they're gone. That is it. And so yeah, just like the Alien Blaster, you get really good weapons, but at the cost of limitability. I don't like that. And a lot of people are gonna like defend Wild Wasteland in the comments. I don't give a shit. Wild Wasteland is by far a very bad trait. I do not care. I will die on this hill. It is bad. It is a very bad trait, and I don't get why you would ever pick such a thing. And people will staunchly defend this. They would be like, all of my playthroughs, I have used Wild Wasteland. I can't imagine a game without it. Yeah, well, I can't imagine a game with it because it is boring. It doesn't add much to it. Granted, I don't usually get most of the references anyways. But the point is, like, for example, all right, there is if in Old World Blues, and this extends to DLCs, by the way. Like, this isn't just vanilla Fallout New Vegas. This extends to the DLCs also. In the New Vegas DLC Old World Blues, whenever you're at the part where you can meet or congregate at the different scientists' houses, before they turn into the think tanks, you would come across a Deathclaw named Stripe, and if you ever migrate to the fountain, the Deathclaw runs back to the dog house that it resides in. That is a reference to the Gremlins. However, if you've never seen the movie Gremlins and you come across that, you're just confused as hell. Now, I have seen the Gremlins only once, but I only know that's a reference to the Gremlins because I watched a lot of YouTube videos about it. So you won't be able to like get the reference if you've seen the movie, and it just leaves you confused. So I think that it doesn't really add much to it at all. It's just minor references to shit that you may not know. That's my personal take. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think this isn't for some of the people out there, do you agree with me that in a sense this is the more controversial hot take? Because honestly, from what I've seen a lot of like I've seen some railroad defenders at the very least. They aren't out there, but I've never seen I don't think I've ever come across a single person that agrees with me that Wild Wasteland is not that good of a trait. Not to say that it's the worst, not that they agree with me that it's the worst trait, but there are better. I've never seen a single person that agrees with my statement that there are way better traits than Wild Wasteland. Everybody will die on the hill that Wild Wasteland is the best perk ever, or best trait ever. It's not, people. It is not at all. With that being said, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Leave a comment down below of your Fallout hot take. It can be any Fallout hot take, not just New Vegas or 4 or 3, whatever. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you do subscribe, hit that bell notification to be notified when I upload, because obviously the last video I uploaded was like 3 months ago. And with that being said, Lose a Manic out.